writers, it's Justin again. Welcome back. B sent me her revised draft, so I've been combing through it for editing errors. I only found a few, but it gave me an idea. Today I thought we'd practice editing a little differently. We'll still use our cups checklist, but instead of editing your writing along with me or practicing finding errors in someone else's, I wanted to give you the chance to practice fixing errors that commonly pop up in news articles. Getting familiar with these types of mistakes will make it easier to catch them in your own writing. I went through B's article and pulled out some examples of things she did really well, along with a couple of editing mistakes for you to work with as we go through the cups checklist. Ready to step into the shoes of a news editor? Let's get into it. As always, we'll start with C for capitalization. This one is especially important in news articles since they use a lot of proper nouns, the names of specific people, places, or things. When you edit your own work, scan through it for any names of people and places to make sure they're capitalized. That's exactly how I found B's first error. Take a look at this sentence. This first successful journey to the South Pole proved that humans could survive and navigate even the most extreme environments on Earth. Using what you know about proper nouns, pause here to see if you can find and correct the mistake in this sentence with editing marks. 3 little lines under a letter if it needs to be capitalized, or a slash through it if it needs to be lowercase. Remember, even if you're not sure about the answer, try to make an educated guess. How'd it go? There are no people in this sentence, but there are 2 places, the South Pole and Earth. B remembered to capitalize South Pole, but she forgot to capitalize Earth. Whenever we're talking about Earth as a planet, it needs to be capitalized. So we'll mark that for B. Another common capitalization mistake in news articles has to do with quotes, but this is something that B did a great job with. Notice how the first letter within the quotation marks is capitalized? No matter where your quote appears in a sentence, that first letter of it needs to be capitalized. Great! Now that we've covered the capitalization rules, let's move on to U for understanding. This step is where we check to see that our sentences make sense. We'll mark any corrections by crossing out the mistake, then using a caret to insert the new info. My favorite strategy here is just reading it out loud. Errors become really obvious when something doesn't sound right. B's draft is clear and well written, but I did catch one mistake worth flagging. Since articles are about events that happened in the past, all of the verbs used should be past tense, like became, accomplished, and planted. Take a look at this part of a sentence. The team begins its final push toward the South Pole. Pause the video here to find the verb tense mistake and correct it with editing marks. The word begins should be in its past tense form began. So we can cross out begins and add in our caret with the correct version. Awesome, that covers understanding. So what's next? It's time for punctuation. Remember, we mark these corrections by writing the punctuation that should be there and drawing a circle around it so it's easily seen. The first rule to cover is ending punctuation. Since we're not questioning our readers or speaking with a tense emotion, news articles almost always use periods at the ends of sentences. This helps to keep that professional tone we talked about. See how B did that in her article? Next, commas. Just like B does here, you should use a comma after the transition words or dates that start your sentences. The comma acts like a small pause button between the setup and the main part of the sentence. It signals to readers that the introduction is done and the important information is coming next. Last, we need to look at quotes and attributions here. In fact, these are such an important part of the article. There are 2 punctuation rules for it. Do you see where B put commas and quotation marks in her article? She put quotation marks at the beginning and end of her quote. That lets the reader know where it starts and ends. And notice how the attribution comes after the quote. Because of that, she put a comma right before the closing quotation mark to separate them. That comma acts like a period at the end of the quote, but shows us the full sentence isn't finished yet. But let's say B put her attribution before her quote. In that case, she would have to put a comma between the attribution and the opening quotation mark, like this. Like with transitions, this shows that the sentence is set up for something important later. All right, that covers all of our punctuation steps, so let's move on to spelling. Just like the last times we've edited, we check for spelling mistakes by circling any words that we think might be spelled wrong. Since spelling mistakes can be a big barrier to readers clearly understanding our writing, it is always important to check for spelling. In news articles, the most important spelling mistakes to look for are in the names of people or places. As journalists, we would never want to misspell someone's name or a place, because then our readers might not trust that we know what we're talking about. B was really careful with her names, but I did find one mistake here. She did a good job sounding out Antarctica, but she missed a letter. Do you know what's missing? There's a C missing. It should sound out to Antarctica. To mark this, we'll write the correct spelling above the circle. Pause here to mark that in your notes too. As always, you should check spelling for any words you're unsure of, not just names and places, but those are where news writers make the most mistakes. And that's it. I'll get this sent over to B right away. As you edit your draft in your lesson materials, you'll see some options I included for how to publish your article. I'll be printing mine out to share with my friends, but there are a lot of options for you. Remember, words can take you anywhere. Where will they take you next? Have fun making your final draft, and I'll see you next time.